our fucking keyboard player, he is absolutely batshit crazy, and he sleeps on his shed door.
What?
Every time you finish a song, in the distance, you just hear.
I haven't actually listened to our debut album in quite a while. I know, sorry.
I don't listen to it.
But, like Liam said, we listened to it.
Yeah, I had him on the podcast a while ago. Unbearable.
The most diverse.
It'll go from like Michael Bublé to Motley Crue, and they are like literally.
It's not a sandwich.
Well, put the two bits of fucking bread together.
Just go like that, problem solved.
Next level, boys.
Yeah.
Mate, I remember walking out on stage and thinking there's literally someone's head at my ankles and it doesn't stop until the back wall.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, oh my god.
Fun fact: they've got a flag with Riley's face on it in their HQ.
Oh yeah.
That's a brilliant question.
Jason Momoa.
Jason, that's a compliment.
That is it. What did I put?
Put that under the grill for like 5 minutes and then the cheese all melts, yeah?
I didn't realise this podcast was like MasterChef.
You've been watching too
Bit
many
of
TikToks.
Axl Rose. That's like
Axl Rose back in the day.
back in the day, not Axl Rose like.
Oh, Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Hello, and welcome to episode 15 of the Uncensored Podcast. I'm Riley, your host. That's Tom, your other host. And today we have guests. Yes, we are joined by Henry, Liam, and Ash from the Karma Effect. How are you boys doing today?
Yeah, we're good, man. We're all good.
All good, dude.
Great to hear. Great to hear. I heard you had Dirty Honey the other week.
Yeah,
How was that?
I went to see them last week today.
I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember much about it because we got pretty drunk, didn't
We
we?
had a few drinks. It was good. Good night though. They smashed it. They were great.
I've always wanted to see them. Like, I've heard quite a bit of their stuff, but I've never just decided to go and see them.
Yeah, you've seen them a few times.
Yeah,
we saw them in London, didn't we?
we
Twice.
saw them. Yeah, so we saw them last year on their first ever headline show over here. And then we saw them a few weeks later supporting Rival Sons, and then we saw them, and then we saw them last week. So yeah,
first time was definitely the best. It was one of those where you're kind of like I was there moments.
Yeah,
because they're obviously really on the rise. I was like Ash and I. It was like I swear it was like the hottest day of the year.
Yeah, it was like last July.
Everybody in the venue was literally like melting. And I just remember it being one of those nights where you come out and you go, well, that ain't going to happen again.
Yeah, never see him in a venue like that again. It was
only like 200 people, and the stage was like literally no bigger than like this wall. It was mental.
Where was it? Forum?
No, it was Oslo in Hackney.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Jesus. But anyway, it's not about Dirty Honey tonight. It's about the Karma Effect. I don't know why I opened up with that, but I just thought we can't go straight into the questions. I thought I'd just ask something nice. Yeah, run time. Let's go with that. But how did you all come together as the Karma Effect? Really?
It was a bit funny, really. I mean, Ash, Hen, and myself have been playing together for well over 10 years now. I mean,
17, 18 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Too long.
But because we all went to school together, and we were playing in like a alternative band, sort of like, I don't know, grungy sort of stuff. And then we kind of fell out of love with that, really. And then during lockdown, Hen started writing some music, and he wanted some players, didn't you? And we started getting together, doing some jamming. And then we got Seb. Seb got involved, the keys player.
Yeah.
He started putting down some like funky, clappy stuff. And then Robbie joined on, and it just started forming from there, really. And we just thought, this is something pretty tasty. We're
nice.
Yeah, it kind of like it started initially as Henry's like sort of solo project. Like he had some song ideas that he wanted to kind of explore, and obviously we played together for a long time before then. And during lockdown, he was like, when we can, we'll get together and we'll kind of, if you're all right to put some drums down on this for me, or Liam some bass. And Seb, as Liam mentioned, Seb's a friend of ours who we met at like some local jam nights. We've kind of known him for about 5-6 years now, and when we did get together with Robbie as well, who me and Henry met at uni down at Bin in Brighton, we kind of had that moment where it was like, yeah, it's not. It sounds better. Like it was just a band. We knew it had to be a band. It was like it can be a solo thing, but it was a unit, wasn't it?
I just think like I've always been in a band with like where everybody is. They're all a vital part of the machine, as it were, and it just felt weird. Like even though I was kind of writing the songs, and still predominantly I'm the sort of songwriter, I needed to feel like we were a gang rather than they were like employees. And I was like, so I basically said to them, I was like, fuck this. Or can we swear? I don't know.
You can now.
Doesn't matter.
So I was like, like fuck this. We are like, this has got to be like a band. It doesn't need my name on it. It needs our stamp on it. And
I remember a few times in the studio when we were writing those first initial like 3 singles and some tracks off the debut album, we were kind of like, we would play things and we'd kind of be like, what do you think, Hen? Like, do you like that? And I know you kind of went, no, this is like our thing. So
yeah,
it
like, felt weird.
Yeah.
Like I think in my mind I was like, yeah, I'm going to be like Tom Petty or Jackson Brown, and everybody's going to like, I'm going to have like my band. And then I was like, when I got in with like these are my 2 best mates, and then we met Robbie, or we knew Robbie and we knew Seb. When we all kind of got together, it was a little bit like lightning in a bottle, and it was just like we've got to use this. And I'm not going to stop it being the thing that it needs to be.
Brilliant.
I remember we were so eager to do it. We were the first opportunity during COVID we got. It was when you had like 6 people outside or something, and it was like, right, let's set the gazebo up in the garden. We'll all go outside and we'll just start.
Yeah,
some music.
My folks have like an old converted farm, and they don't have any neighbours. They've just got fields. But what was so funny is like we set up, and it was really nice day. Yeah, we all got sunburned, and we were playing outside, and literally we were playing like proper rehearsal volume, and like every time you finish a song in the distance, you just hear. People like cheering and stuff. So it was
probably the best entertainment they had. It was nice for them to hear some live.
I was going to say,
after about 5 months indoors.
Yeah, so it's pretty mad.
Sounded pretty mad.
So kind of slightly linking in the best way possible. So we know your band came together now, but how did you came up with the name? Because for me personally, we've had quite a few bands on, but the there's top 3 band names for me personally. So how did you come up with that?
That means a lot. Thank you.
That means that does mean a lot.
It's a name that's been floating around for a while. Like even when Liam was saying we were in that kind of like alt rocky, like grungy band. We went for a name change in that band, and it came up then, and it's always been floating around in the background.
Basically, yeah. I think when I was kind of started writing, I knew I wanted to do something real kind of retro rock, 70s rock. We're massively inspired. I'm massively inspired by bands like the Black Crowes and Aerosmith, that kind of funky, bluesy kind of thing. And I'll be honest with you, it wasn't necessarily like, I like the whole. Like, I remember our manager being like, what does it mean? Like, if someone asks you, you've got to be like, yeah, Karma's a bitch, man. Like, it means like that kind of thing. It wasn't that. I just wanted something that sounded aesthetically pleasing and rolls off the tongue and fit the kind of like a slightly psychedelic rock, like bluesy, funky rock kind of thing. And I remember when it came out, there was no real discussion about it. I was like, we're going to be called the Karma Effect.
Well, initially it was going to be, obviously your name's Henry Gatelier. It was going to be Henry Gatelier and the Karma Effect. That was going to be like the band, like Tom Petty, and
then we realised to say your name.
we can't have Henry's name on it because no one will know how to pronounce it.
Yeah. So it was just one of those things really where I was just like, I think it just completely fell into place, and yeah, it was one of those names that I always knew if I was going to do another band again, it was going to be called that. And then I just was trying to be selfish and just have both together.
Sounds mental. Like, like your name does actually sound like one of those like, kind of psychedelic rock band, like kind of band names. Does sound quite cool.
What, as in my actual name?
No, just like the whole band name, like the Karma Effect.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, like...
It's something you'd see on like a vintage 70s like band festival poster sort of thing.
I think what you've also got to remember as well is that, like, even before we became a fully fledged band, I kind of had this like weird vision of where I wanted it all to go, and it was kind of like I'd already planned out what everything was going to look like, what the music was going to sound like, and so it's there's no great mystery behind it. It's just one of those things where you're kind of like, I've got a vision and we're going to go for it, kind of thing.
That's how the best things start, though.
Yeah.
Yes. You got a vision, you roll with it. That's how this started. So, but
yeah, he's got a point there. It is how we had a vision of all this. Like we had a vision, but we kind of didn't at the same time. But we just we'll start it and see how we get along.
Yeah.
And then we've come to where we are today.
Like you say, that's how the best things start. We
exactly.
We took a chance on it in lockdown, and we took a chance on it afterwards. Like, you know, we always say, like, we played our first gig after we recorded our album, and we were like, we're taking a massive chance here, because if no one likes these songs, we've got a whole album, and it's like, you know, but sometimes, like you say, you just have to go for it, and
just got to hit the ground running and start.
Yeah, I think with lockdown, it brought the end to a lot of great things, but it also started a lot of new great things with it.
I think lockdown had a massive part to play in our initial success, because for a lot of bands that were established, I mean, it obviously had. If I'm talking about music specifically, it obviously had its massive downsides that we couldn't get together as much and play. We had to do things more remotely. You know, gigs were, if you managed to get a gig, everybody was sitting down if you managed to get one at all. And it was all like, it was all pretty crap. But I mean, the only side of it that I think really helped us was that people needed something new. And we came along right at that point where we had something new to offer. We made it work. We made an album between kind of lockdowns and stuff like that, where we were going into the studio and it would be like, right, Ash has got 4 days to get his drums done. Lynn's got to get bass done. We've got to get this all done before Bojo goes, no, you've all got to go back indoors. So we were kind of really pushed in that regard. But what ended up happening was your established bands who were basically relying more on touring and things like that, they couldn't do that. But at the point during lockdown, we didn't need that. We just needed to put our music out. And, you know, and that's what we did. And then everybody kind of went like, well, here we go. We got a new thing here.
And I think it played a massive part in our first show. Like, our first ever gig, we turned up and they were like, it's sold out. But obviously it's sold out at a reduced capacity. I think it was outdoors down at Leo's Red Lion. It was great. You know, it was like June and sun was shining. It was amazing, but everyone was sat down. But it really played into our hands because, like Henry said, people who came to see us, it was like possibly their first gig in over a year, or, you know, their first time seeing a new band in ages, and
it was just really exciting.
Such good energy.
The energy, the energy was amazing.
Just a good atmosphere, isn't it?
Yeah, it was wicked. it just really played into our hands really well. We were so fortunate to get that gig. So shout out to the Rock Cooperative at Leo's Red Line for putting us on.
Yeah, them the boys.
That's in Gravesend, isn't it?
Great
Yeah.
end, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
It's kind of near. I think that's kind of near me. I think
Whereabouts are you?
near. That's near Essex, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
near.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
Yeah,
literally, like I say, it's on the riverfront. It's like right opposite the bridge, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm Essex way, so it's not that far from me. Like, I've heard a couple of bands play there, but I've never actually ventured out there to go see it.
No,
Good,
go.
man.
Like the
I
community,
definitely need to.
like they put on, the Rock Co-op guys are amazing. They put on some great gigs.
Yeah.
They really look
and
after us, man.
the fans that go down there are top notch.
Mm.
We were so lucky to have that as our first gig, and they've really kind of like sort of adopted us as like one of their own, and we're really grateful.
Yeah, but you boys have got quite a big festival, in my opinion, in July coming up, ain't you? Steelhouse, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
With Airborne and Blackstone Cherry.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So we announced that on Saturday. That was announced.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, until it was announced, I didn't even know that Blackstone.
No, I didn't.
do
I
it.
thought it was Airborne. I mean, it is Airborne, and the answer, and
It is Airborne.
But like Blackstone Cherry, man. Like I was saying to the guys on the
We
weekend,
grew up with that.
Blackstone Cherry were one of the first like proper rock bands I got into in like 2005.
Yeah, I remember watching Kerrang back when it was like you got home and you put on the like Scuzz or Kerrang.
And you just rotate between
And
the
you
two.
just rotate between the two. And I remember it was like when they had Lonely Train,
Watch it.
and I was like,
Folklore Superstition album.
No, that was
the first
album.
record.
Yeah.
It was their self-titled, and I just remember just being like, this band are like really cool. And all these years later, well, first things first, it's great to see them. They're still going mega strong. They're currently out on a UK arena tour with The Darkness, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I'm off there Saturday. I'm off.
Oh,
to
yeah,
the
sick,
Saturday.
man. Oh,
Lovely.
I'm jealous. I love both bands, man. I love
Yeah.
The Darkness. I'm a massive fan of The Darkness as well. Like, you know, that first record, obviously, but actually recently I've just delved into some of the newer stuff. It's great. It's just great stuff.
Right.
But yeah, where are you seeing them? In London?
Yeah, O2, not O2. Over Arena.
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
It should
like,
be good.
Yeah, so it's just mad to see our band on the same lineup as Blackstone Cherry, and you know it's
As well as many other bands that I am probably quite a big fan of.
Yeah, I think
absolutely.
I think like, you know, for us this year, I went into like 2023 and I was just a little bit like a kind of like a gulp moment. I was like, gulp. We've got all this amazing stuff planned out. Like we've got, you know, the festivals. We've got obviously Winter's End, which is this Planet Rock Winter's End.
By the time this goes out, it would have bbeen last Sunday. I think.
So, you know, and we've got obviously Steelhouse, Stone Dead Festival. We've got All of the Wild, Love Rocks, all of these different ones like that. And you're just like, we must be doing something right.
Yeah.
Definitely. If you're getting all these festivals and just like being able to go to them and all that, it's just amazing. It's like great to see where these bands come from, just to go from basically like recording their first album to playing festivals now.
I don't think we were really expecting this much.
Not
this
early. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got really lucky. We released like 3 singles, and I remember Ash fired off an email to our now management company, our manager, TMR Management, and you know, you do that when you're kind of like up and coming. You do it and you hold out very little hope that you're ever going to hear anything back. And the funny thing was, is that you got a reply.
It was the first one I said. We just replied 5 minutes later.
Yeah, and when I spoke to our manager on the phone and we spoke about it, he was like, I was just about to like stop for the day. Like I was going to like, and then I got this email through and I listened to your music, and he said, I had to email straight back and be like, I want to talk to you guys. We hadn't even done a gig.
No.
We hadn't even played a gig. We just recorded these songs. And he said, and we had this like, it was just me and him. We had this like 45-minute chat about like what we want to do, where we want to go, like, and what we, and I just thought like, he's going to be like, I'm going to keep an eye on you and I'll see you in like a year and a half's time and maybe we'll talk again. And I was kind of like, well, it's great to chat to you, mate, and maybe we'll like chat again in the future. And he was like, no, I'm signing you. He was like, if I don't sign you, someone else will, and then I will kick myself for not signing you. So I was like, holy shit, we haven't even done anything, and already we've got that management deal.
Yeah.
And I was just going to say, thanks to him, and like their hard work, like we've got these opportunities that I'm going like, oh my God, I never would have thought that within 2 and a bit years of being in this band, we'd even be doing that.
We hit the jackpot massively in terms of like I said with you guys from the Rock Carp and all those, like people taking a chance on us so early. Like Henry said, our manager Peter, he literally signed us without us playing a gig. He'd never seen us play live. We didn't have any videos of us playing live or anything like that. He was just going with what he heard in the studio. And, you know, we were so fortunate that he took a punt on us and, you know, took us on and took us under his wing. And thanks to him and all the hard work that he and all the others do, you know, we've got all these opportunities that we've got this year. And like Liam said, like, we never actually thought that it would happen this early. I remember sitting in Henry's house when we first started the band, or I think it was like 2021, and we saw the lineup for like Stone Dead and Call of the Wild, and I was like, you know what? In 5 years, I'd like to be on those bills. That'd be nice. And then 2 years later, we've got a whole summer full of these great festivals. So like, we just
can't get over.
Yeah, we just
like, exactly what dreams are made of.
Whirlwind at the moment, and we're just taking it as it comes and just doing our thing, and it seems to be moving in the right direction. So we're just going to keep going.
Yes, that's definitely the way to go. But like, so now we know your manager like definitely listened to your music and clearly loved it. To sign you that, obviously, like more and more people by the day listening to your music. But what about you? Do you go home and listen to your music?
Do we go home and listen to it? Yeah, when I've got rehearsed for the set. Yeah, I do. I can go back and listen to it. And you know, we've just come out of the studio actually as of yesterday, laying down some bass tracks for the next lot. And so obviously I've been listening to those religiously, the demos and everything. But I mean, yeah, we still go back and listen to the first album, and I just think, oh God, yeah, I forgot how much of a banger this is. Because it sounds stupid, and I say this a lot, especially to like Robbie and that. I say, I'll never get to see us live. So like, all we've got is to listen to the music, you know?
Yeah.
What about you, Ash?
Yeah, I think I'll be honest, I haven't actually listened to our debut album in quite a while. I know, sorry.
I don't listen to it.
But you know, like Liam said, we're listening to a lot of new stuff at the moment. We are in the middle of recording our second album, and in terms of going back and listening to older stuff, we're not really doing that as much, but we're listening to a lot of new stuff.
Yeah. I think what happens is you take these songs, and I'm extremely proud of every single thing we've written, and you know, a lot of the ideas that maybe I've come up with and I've seen through with the band to become the Karma Effects music or whatever. But it gets to the point where it's like I get a buzz out of playing it. I get a massive, massive buzz out of playing any track that we play live or we throw into the set. And I get a buzz out of adding new tracks and tracks from the first album that we don't normally play. We'll throw it in or whatever. I don't really go back and listen to it. And I'm a bit weird. I find it quite uncomfortable when people put it on in in social situations, and that, you know, I don't know, some pissed guy will be like, "Way," and point at you, and you're like, just like go like that. But I don't know if that's like a bit of an anxiety thing or whatever. But I mean, I feel like I love I love people finding out about it and listening to it and letting us know that they enjoy it. But for me, it's just all about, you record these albums, and I don't like the studio. I love writing music. That's my favourite thing to do in the world. I don't like recording it because I just want it finished. I just want it completely finished, so I can put the CD or the vinyl or whatever in someone's hands and be like, wrap your ears around that, and then we get to go out and play those songs live. That's just that's what it's all for me. It's just it's all the means to the end of the thing, where you get to go out and play these songs live and give them to the world and play in front of big crowds and shit like that.
The other thing is as well, like, from writing these songs during lockdown and then recording it is a long process. So for us, we've had the debut album songs around for ages.
Yeah, probably like a year and a half longer than.
Our album hasn't even been out a year yet.
Oh, yeah.
So we're already thinking, right, let's get some new bangers out for everyone, and everyone else is still riding the debut wave of hearing us at gigs and things like that. So it's a bit of a weird mix at the moment between going back and listening to the older stuff and reflecting on that, and then trying to look forward and be progressive with all the new stuff.
I think Liam just touched on there. I think it'll be good once the new album is finished, and maybe not out yet, but when we've got a copy of it, it'll be nice to go back and listen to the first album. I'll probably go back and listen to it then, and like Liam said, reflect on it and sort of see how our sound has evolved over the 2 or 3 years it's been since we first wrote those songs, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that makes sense. But sorry, Tom. Yeah, go ahead.
So obviously we've obviously been speaking about, apparently there's a new album in the works. When do you reckon it will be out?
We're looking at early 2024. We haven't got an exact date yet, but the plan is early 2024, so January, February 2024. Obviously, at the moment, we are massively dictated by the issues that we're having with sourcing vinyl and the materials for vinyl. Like, there's a 7-8 month wait list to get vinyls made, and we had that with our debut album, but we kind of staggered the release, so we did it CD and digital in March, and then the vinyls weren't actually out until August when they were finally delivered. But like this time we have said we want to do it all in one go. So the plan is to have everything finished recording by April, May, and then sent off to all the people it needs to be sent off, and then early 2024 is the plan to have the second album out. At the moment.
That's not bad at all. That don't sound bad at all for a plan. Just for a plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
We find with that like we kind of almost have to work backwards. You set the end goal. We're like, right, we want to have it out there, so we've got to work backwards from then. So like 7 months after that is this day. So that'll be when this is done, blah blah blah. It's I think when you go into writing an album and potentially releasing it, you can't just go in and kind of be like, yeah, we'll record it and we'll put it out in a month or so. Our manager is quite hot on that. He's like, no, you gotta really push this release. So start of 2024 is the plan at the moment.
Sounds good.
It does, but
go on, Riley.
Thank you. So he ruined my little segue that I was setting up. So I'm going to pretend he didn't ask that question. So now we know if you listen to your own music or not. But what I'm curious about, if you don't listen to your own, whose music do you listen to at the moment?
I mean, obviously, we all listen to a lot of the same sort of music. Like, that's partly the reason why we're all friends and why we're all in a band. So you do listen to a lot of your influences and the people that inspire you. But we all tend to listen to a lot of different things. Like, obviously you as a drummer, you like everything that's kind of like almost like rhythmic based. So like it doesn't necessarily have to be rock or classic rock. Like, I mean, I'll listen to everything from like vintage thrash metal to 70s classic rock. Love a bit of old school, like proper Delta blues and Motown and stuff like that. Some folk music, Americana. I listen to a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not massively, you're more so than me, I'm not massively a new guy, as in terms of like, I just love the way old music is recorded and how it's kind of done and the less is more aspect of it. There is obviously some great new pop artists out there, like, you know, off the top of my head, people like Dua Lipa, like just the musicality behind it is, in my opinion,
Great bass lines.
is like more than just your standard pop.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not going to name names in case they ever come across this. But I get a little bit sort of like, some things you just kind of feel like people just, it's the same formula.
Yeah.
But for me, overall, I listen to a lot of my favourite bands, really. My favourite band is Aerosmith. And that's why this band is quite inspired by the I wouldn't say, it's just like the feeling that I get when I listen to that, I want to get when we play, which is, so it kind of all goes into that, and that thrown in with like a bit of kind of, like, I don't know, Black Crows. I listen to a lot of different things, but then, like I said, we love all sorts of stuff, don't we?
Yeah.
Do you find like after, because I'm like this, that after like a really high octane gig, like the next couple of days, I'll be listening to like really like lo-fi, like mellow, quite chilled stuff. And then as the gig comes around, I'm like, let's put on like While She Sleeps or something, and just like really get thrashing with it.
Yeah. So you've got a bit of that sort of like heavier sort of side to the music.
A bit.
Yeah. For me, I'm kind of like I listen to quite a bit of like new music. Obviously, we're both like well into modern classic rock bands like Dirty Honey and all those sort of people.
Yeah.
But I listen to pretty much, if you scroll through my Spotify or Apple Music, it's mental.
I think you're the most diverse.
It'll go from like
Definitely,
Michael Bublé to Motley Crue, and they are like literally. But I listen to quite a lot of sort of stuff.
We love our John Mayer road trip.
John Mayer is one of like my favourite sort of singer-songwriters. I just think he writes amazing songs, and the drum parts on his tracks, like you've got Steve Jordan on the early stuff, and then Aaron Sterling on the later stuff. It's just like you can't.
Pino Palladino.
Exactly. Like it's me and Liam have got a bit of a thing where we just like sit in the car and listen to John Mayer for ages.
Yeah.
But then like I'll go and listen to a bit of hip hop or anything. But then I'll always go. I mean, probably my fail-safe option, if I can't think of anything to listen to, it'll just be Eagles' greatest hits.
I was going to
Yeah.
say,
It's just Eagles' greatest hits. Then you just can't get.
You can't go wrong, can you? Just I mean, like, but what I love about that band, obviously, again, in my top 5 bands of all time, is you've just got a bit of country, a bit of rock, a bit of something like a bit of soul in like I Can't Tell You Why, and like you just got, there's a bit of everything there. I love that.
Yeah, we saw them last year.
that was it. Of course it was.
Sorry,
just forgot you were there.
But like we saw them last year, and they were unbelievable. You know, you just think, they're getting on a bit now. You know, they're not going to be what they once were. You watch all the videos from the 70s, and you think, oh, they were great back then. They're not going to be the same. They were note for note perfect the whole night. It was a proper moment. Like the sun was going down in Hyde Park, and they're playing Tequila Sunrise, and you're just like, this is
absolutely battered.
About 15 pints.
I think our friends were. Was this last year in Hyde Park?
Yeah.
Our friends were there.
Yeah. It was amazing. It was
the following
amazing.
week we had Rolling Stones. Like the weekend after as well.
That was sick.
Yeah, unbelievable.
So yeah.
It was a big, like a really big year for like kind of that older rock. Like obviously we had Guns N' Roses last year and all that. Like it's just all those big bands like trying to come back.
Yeah.
And we kind of got that this year as well, ain't we?
Yeah, turning extent. I'm gonna have to cut you off. Sorry, real quick, because this meeting's about to end, so we're gonna need to quickly start a second one.
That's all right.
Cool.
Okay,
Nice
so we'll see you in part 2. Smooth as butter. So I guess we'll pick up where we left off. Where
I'm gonna be honest, I can't remember.
well,
Music
about
we listen to,
Eagles
isn't
and
it?
stuff like that.
Oh, we were talking about what sort of music you listen to.
And going to the Eagles and stuff.
Yeah,
yeah.
Liam loves a little bit of Euro pop, like Euro trash. Don't
I
you?
love Bass Hunter.
I love it. I hope that goes on record.
Mason, mate, I love it.
But moving on from that, I've got what I feel is quite a good question. So, what is your favourite support act that has either what is your favourite band that you've either supported or had as a support act?
I think we've supported.
Wagons, right?
Yeah, last year, about a week after our album came out, we had the opportunity to open up for Massive Wagons in Stoke, which was
We love the
Amazing.
Massive Wagons.
mate, like what a bunch
They're
of
up there
legends.
somewhere.
They are such a bunch of legends.
We had,
So much fun.
yeah, we literally did kind of bro out a little bit, didn't
Yeah,
we?
it was
And
great.
when we turned up, I remember when we turned up, you know, these guys, we are like green around the fucking gills. Like, you know, we're turning up and we're doing probably our first proper big, like,
Venue.
welcome to the next level, boys.
Yeah.
Mate, I
And-
remember walking out on stage and thinking, there's literally someone's head at my ankles and it doesn't stop until the back wall.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, oh my God, this is mental.
But I just remember, like, these guys, they've obviously been doing it for a while, and they're turning up, they're chilling, they've got their routine. We're very much like speak when spoken to, do as you're told, whatever. And actually, the one amazing thing about our guitar player Robbie is that the guy will chat forever, and Robbie has this natural thing where he's just really good at like breaking down barriers and getting to know people. And by the end of the night, you know, we were all kind of like really kind of getting along and chatting, and ever since then we've kind of kept in contact, and hopefully somewhere in the future we'll be able to go out and do some more stuff with them. They really enjoy it. I remember one of them saying we don't watch the support acts that much. But where we played in Stoke, there was just like a private balcony where the dressing room was above the crowd, so we could see them. The crowd couldn't. And I remember them like all watching, and I was like, oh, for them to like actually come out and watch us they must enjoy it.
Yeah.
And we kind of really hit it off that night. So that was a big one. I don't really know about bands supporting us. I mean,
Bands supporting us. I particularly liked Hunted by Elephants, our album launch show.
oh, they were good guys.
They were good. They were
Yeah,
really
it's
nice.
different. He could have the flute out, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
Remember? He got the flute out.
flute.
Oh yeah, it was like Jethro Tull meets Thin Lizzy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were cool.
I'll tell you what, actually, I just want to say a massive shout out as well. Off the top of my head, again, really awesome band, really nice guys, and that was Just a Ride on
On Saturday.
on Saturday. So they opened up the show. We had a headline gig, and they opened up the show. They're a trio, kind of like a bit Alice in Chains meets, I don't know, it's like alt rock meets Alice in Chains.
Yeah,
It was
it's
really cool. And the guitar player is a mutual friend. A good friend of mine knows him from like back in the day. And they were just like amazing players and an amazing like opening act. I was just like, and they're really nice guys. Really cool.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had Massive Wagons on. We had Massive Wagons on this podcast. Like the first 2 weeks of being on it.
Oh.
But yeah, we had him on like probably the first 2 or 3 weeks that we started going, and it was he's just a great guy to talk to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Very he's straightforward, and
Yeah.
he'll just chat.
Yeah, I was bad.
He'll chat to you about everything.
Yeah,
Fun fact:
Yeah, he's really nice guy. Like I said, when we got there, you know, he's got again, like sometimes I kind of get this. Being a singer, it's a little bit weird. You get a little bit funny. You don't want to talk. You don't want to like. You get a little bit insular. I don't know. I mean, with the guys, with like you, I'm quite cool. But I find on gig days, I kind of just want to like not shout and talk too much, and I kind of got that vibe from Baz when we turned up. But you know,
he was pretty patient.
He was like, but yeah, like quite chill. But then obviously, as the night went on, and you know, things like were gearing up, and they're getting ready to go on. Just like you said, just turned out to be just such a lovely bloke. Really hospitable to us. They weren't diva-ish about anything. No. Just really great guys.
Like we shared the dressing room with them and everything. Like, you know, it was one big room, and we were like, "Do you mind if we?" And they were like, "Guys, fucking come in, like pile in. It's all great."
Yeah.
Like, it's really hospitable. And seeing Baz do his thing on stage is
it is amazing.
Yeah, as from me,
fun fact,
something to definitely look up to, big time.
Yeah. Fun fact: they've got a flag with Riley's face on it in their HQ.
Oh really?
Yeah. I got it done for Baz because the original joke was we was obviously all talking on the podcast, and he went, "If you lot get a flag done, we'll have it up on stage or something. Well, we'll find a place for it." So I got it done. But obviously Baz don't come out and talk to everyone, so I gave it to. Is it Steve? Is it Steve, the guitarist?
I think it's Steve.
Yeah, I gave it to him and said, "Okay, give it to Baz. It's our personal joke between me and him." And just say, it's from Tom from Uncensored. Nice. And I'll message back from Baz probably about a couple of days after, and he went, "What the fuck is this flag?" Because all it is just Riley's face. He's sitting there all happy, and it's just got a big text bubble at the top. And the whole idea was that his camera had fucked up somehow. And he'd made like a big like picture with like a load of random shit on it, and he'd spelt massive wrong. He spelt it MASSIE. So the whole joke was just Massey Wagons. So I got that put on it. So I think about 2 weeks ago he messaged me and he went, I found a place to put the flag. And he went, "I'm putting it right up on the wall in the warehouse or in the HQ." So Riley's managed to find his way into the Massive Wagons family.
I have. Yeah. A nice, absolutely shameless plug. You can go watch the Massive Wagons episode on the flashcard right here, right now after this one. So if you could do that, we need the runtime. So it is a proper good one. I highly recommend it if you get some free time. But after that horrific self-promotion, we're on to the good questions now. The questions that I actually enjoy. So
the juicy questions.
Yeah, exactly. These are the juicy questions. So this one I trialed a few weeks ago. And
last free.
It's a tad convoluted, but just I think you understand the rough gist. Okay, so if you could have one of your songs play in like a certain part of a film, where would that song play, and what song would you choose?
Oh, that's fucking good.
That's a brilliant question.
Oh man, I'd love to I mean, it's got to be in my mind. That sooner what springs to mind, it's got to be some sort of like Tarantino.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd love to have, like Doubt She's Coming Back when it all kicks in and like the riff first like comes in. It's got that. I don't know. I'm trying to picture. I'm trying to. That kind of. I don't want to promote like gory violence, but like that gratuitous like Tarantino. Absolute ridiculousness, but then with like one of our tunes, like The River, which is really funky, and it just doesn't work, but just really something like that. Yeah, like the end of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the flamethrower.
Yeah. So
we say we trialed we trolled it, but that video didn't even go up.
Yeah.
But it will.
We recorded it. It will eventually at some point.
Like again, that like the new Rival Sons video is like all Tarantino-esque.
Yeah.
It's so good, so well filmed. I could imagine like something like that. Or I'd love to like just like throw our song in some like absolutely really random movie like fucking Titanic.
I was thinking Titanic. Well, I was thinking what Stand or something. Save me. Yeah.
Oh,
Just as it's coming up to the iceberg.
yeah.
But leading on from that, if you ever had a biopic come out, you know how Motley Crue do it all and all that, like with The Dirt, I think it was.
Yeah.
Who would you want? What actor would you like to play you?
Go on, you go first.
Jason Momoa.
Jason, that's a compliment for
That is
yourself, isn't it?
What did I call you the other
I
day?
do see it. I do see it, kind of.
No, it's randomly people say I do not agree with it, and I don't see
It's
it.
because you started wearing your hair up in a ponytail. That's why sometimes.
You think that's why?
I reckon so. Yeah.
Or is it
Yeah,
not-
so
is it
Liam's
not-
been
is it not
going
like
on.
huge muscles and great physique.
Liam keeps going on about it, so I keep calling
I
him.
don't go on about it.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
do.
going on about it.
It tickles your ego, doesn't it? No, I call him Jason Samosa now because it just.
Jason.
Yeah, and
It's
then
the camera effect.
yeah, I don't know. Who would you?
I don't know. I've never thought The Rock.
No,
I don't know actually.
mate, I'm going all out. I'm going fucking Johnny Depp, mate.
Johnny
Straight
Depp,
back,
yeah, that would work.
That would be
straight back into the acting again. Not the. Like I'd definitely go Johnny Depp.
Who's what's his name? Doc out of Back to the Future.
What, Christopher Lloyd? What's the Robbie called it? Keith Lemon. Keith Lemon. Yeah.
that would be a crazy film. All three of those actors all
I can't think
together.
I'm not sure.
Well, we'll stick with Jason Statham, mate.
Jason Statham, yeah.
Yeah. Jason Statham.
Generous to ourselves then, isn't it?
Oh, no, you look good, mate.
Oh,
Not bad.
good. Right, go on, Tom. Oh, wait, shit, you just asked. Okay, so now we're into my big three questions. These are my like cream of the crop questions, in my personal opinion, at least. So, so if you like were to have a mascot, ideally not an animal, like just a fridge or something, what incredibly random mascot would you have?
It'd be something like Seb's got some random
Seb, yeah.
shit done in his car.
Be a shed door.
Shed door.
Yeah.
A shed door.
It would be a shed door, and I'll tell you for why. Because our fucking keyboard player, he is absolutely batshit crazy, and he sleeps on a shed door.
What?
That's
What?
He said something like his bed broke, or what? It was like a divan bed.
No,
or
he
something,
wanted.
right?
What he's done is he wanted his bed off the ground. Right, he's got a double bed mattress off the ground. So what he did is he took like a divan bed and turned it on its side like that, and then put a shed door across it, and then the mattress on top, so he can store things under his bed.
that is intuitive.
But
That's
he's
creative.
Great ways, and we love him for it.
Yeah, he's absolutely amazing, and we adore him. But he does come up with some mental shit sometimes.
So yeah, we'll go with the shed door.
Christ.
Yeah,
Shed door.
that's intuitive. That thing.
That's the most creative thing we've had so far, I reckon.
Yeah, for sure.
Big up, Seb.
I feel like he might be in the next Tarantino film or like a twisted Netflix documentary. But up until then, it's creative.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm sure there'd be a place in one of his mental films for Seb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be sleeping in a straitjacket next.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've talked about all the bands that you've liked. I'd like to know if there's any bands that you actually dislike.
Wow.
I wouldn't say I'd normally say hate, but I've started to use dislike because it's a bit more nicer.
No, I don't personally hate any bands.
I think I agree with Ash. I don't hate anyone because I'll be honest, if you're making a living playing music and you're doing what you love, then fair fucks to you.
Everyone's in the same struggle, aren't they? At the end of the day?
And you know, like there's people that I prefer, and there's people that I don't prefer. But I mean, I've got one on the tip of my tongue, but I ain't gonna say it. No, there's it's just one of those things, isn't it? I think I appreciate anybody that gets in a van or goes down to a studio or takes the time after work to sit and goes band practice and do it, which is also the reason why I cannot stand panel singing competitions and anything like that, because I don't think music is a competition. Like, I just think, like, if you want to do it, and you know, why should someone tell you that you can't sing? Just do it. You know, no one said that to Kurt Cobain or Jimi Hendrix or anybody like that.
Exactly.
Or like, you know, Janis Joplin, you know, just amazing, iconic people. So I just think, like, you know, everybody's got a preference.
Yeah, respect the grind.
Yeah,
You know, anyone who, like you say, gets in a van, has the balls to get up on stage and play their songs that they've written in front of people. Fair play to you.
But there are definitely people that are on the tip of my tongue that I would say.
In terms of big bands that I hate, REM.
Oh, mate, they're my number one. They are my number
REM.
one. Mate, it is the most.
I like REM.
No, I just don't understand.
What do you like?
I don't understand how
Not all
REM
the time.
and fucking Placebo. What is that?
Yeah, I don't mind.
I don't
I
like
like one
Placebo
placebo song. One placebo
There's
song.
another one. There's another. Robbie absolutely hates Nickelback, but we quite like Nickelback.
I will say right now, I have been
It's
listening.
going on record.
I'll say it. I'll say it in my chest. I like the new Nickelback album. I like it.
I like Nickelback. No, for me, REM, big one, absolute big one.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
I can't listen to Common People. I can never listen to I can't listen to that.
So aside from Oasis, and I mean because they had a bit more bollocks, I'm not into Britpop. Just not into Britpop. And then when we were at university, most of our tutors were Britpop tutors, and I just don't like the genre.
Yeah. But no, in terms of like other people sort of in our field,
Iron Maiden.
Yeah, I don't really like Iron Maiden. In fact, I'll be like, I don't like Iron Maiden at all. But in our sort of field, in the new wave of classic rock thing, no,
everyone's golden.
Everyone we've met has been great. So you know, no bad words to be said about anyone.
Not yet, anyway.
That's right.
Yeah, no bad words to say.
I was waiting for you to finish your battle, Utland. All the contest.
There's a band I really can't stand called the Karma Effect.
Oh, yeah, I had them on the podcast a while ago. Unbearable. But okay, Tom, do I need the goggles for this part?
You can if you want.
Right. Okay.
You can embarrass yourself if you want.
Fun. So I'm trying to set up a detective bit, but I didn't have anything that a detective would wear. So I do have these though. So
amazing.
I'll be rolling with this for a moment. Okay.
Star Wars.
I think it's steampunk.
I was going to say pod racing, yeah.
But this is not a joking matter. This is the most serious part that we'll ever get on this podcast.
Sorry,
notice how the light is.
This picture has got to be used on the front. This needs to be used on the thumbnail.
Oh, it will be. But so what I need to know, we need to get into the nitty gritty at some point. So I only have one question to ask you, and you need to be prepared for this because it really isn't for the faint of heart. But what is the best sandwich?
If you're going to say anything other than cheese and pickle, like we might.
No, I am going to say ham and coleslaw.
Get out.
That is a good choice, but also so is cheese and pickle.
Good. Mate.
I mean, in terms of a cold sandwich, like a meal deal sandwich, chicken and bacon.
Oh, that's fucking pathetic.
It is,
You can't have a meal deal sandwich.
but in terms
They're
of,
all bad.
but I like hot stuff in a sandwich, and I genuinely think a fish finger sandwich is the stuff of legends. It's unbelievable.
Are we allowed hot food? Because
Of course you are. You can have anything in this sandwich.
So it's going to be fish fingers, sweet, like a little bit of sweet chili sauce on the bread and lettuce. Oh man.
Okay, well if we're going kind of toast bread toast, nothing will beat melted butter and Bovril on toast. That is.
It's not a sandwich.
Well,
Put the two bits
of fucking bread together.
Just go like that, problem solved.
Yeah, but no, nostalgia. The first thing that comes to mind was my mum making me ham and coleslaw sandwiches as well.
Ham and coleslaw.
Oh, mate, yeah. And then when they get all squished up in the cling film.
Yeah, and
and
the
you-
bread's
the
like
coleslaw
really
hot.
Yeah, and it's like, and then sometimes it gets so squished they kind of like come out of the cling film all over your school bag and your books stink coleslaw.
Mate, if we're going hot sandwich, I'm going cheese bap, right? Rotisserie chicken, right? Cut that bad boy up. Mayonnaise, some Gouda. Put that under the grill for like 5 minutes, so then the cheese all melts.
I didn't realise this podcast was like MasterChef.
You've been watching too
Bit
many
of
TikToks.
Mate, where do you think I put these pounds on?
It's like Gordon Ramsay.
Close the top.
Jason Momoa wouldn't eat that, mate.
I'm telling you,
Momoa.
Jason Samosa over here.
Mate, they come to me when they need to gain weight. Tell you, mate.
Good point.
Yeah, but one suggestion.
What's your guys? What's your guys'
yours?
ultimate sandwich?
Well, I have more of a suggestion. You were talking about the fish finger sandwich. I think fish finger sandwich absolutely elite. However, you can make it better. Fish finger sandwich and rustic mash is possibly the best strange combination I've ever had, and it was the best thing that I've ever put to my lips. It's just normal fish finger sandwich, but mayonnaise and mash, and it's so much
Are
better.
we talking instant mash, or are you talking mash?
Oh, mash, not instant mash.
Mate, I have to try that. That's gonna.
Oh, you do. You really do.
I mean, I'm not really a sandwich person, to be fair, but I do like a good old breakfast sandwich.
Can't beat
Good old breakfast sandwich. Can't go wrong with it.
Sausage with a hangover, mate.
I can't do cold breakfast. I can't do cold
Your old
egg.
man does a banging hangover sausage.
Yeah. My dad does a good sausage sandwich. I said this the other day, but bacon sandwiches, I like them. But
I was just about to say this.
I always come away feeling, it's just not as good as I thought it was going to
You
be.
do-
Sausage
Every time.
We used to eat
Yeah.
Sausage sandwich, on the other hand, you
that
cannot
is
beat.
numero uno.
Yeah.
Sausage sandwich,
No, but a bacon sandwich, I always think is going to be so good, and it's always disappointing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but do you go? Hold on, but do you go for toasted bread? It's got to be. It's got to be toasted. It's crispy.
I love the soggy bit. No,
That's the one.
but then, are you going streaky bacon or are you going normal back bacon?
Normal back bacon, but like slightly
I'm
crispy.
going like heart attack bacon, mate.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But you're not. But I'm saying, people who cut the fat off are weird to me because that is the best bit.
Yeah, but have you ever eaten it and where it's like gone down your throat and you're like, and you can't.
Yeah, I eat like a seagull.
But you've passed your interrogation for today.
Thank you very much.
Lovely stuff.
I hope you enjoyed that.
I've got to get used to this every other week now. This is just going to happen.
Come on, boys.
He's going to come back next week, in 2 weeks' time, and he's going to see him with a detective hat and just a load of random shit. He's going to have a pipe next time.
Oh, please do.
I'll try.
Just keep,
Right,
just
I think
keep
that's
your
on the
eye
cards
out.
for 2 weeks' time.
We'll see. But
Completely going off tangent now. Speaking from sandwiches back to music. So, who do you think is quite a good up and coming band at the moment? One that you'd think is quite a small band that is currently doing very, very well. Besides the Karma Effect.
So obviously that can't. What do you mean that aren't doing very, very well? Did you say?
They are doing doing
Right.
quite well.
Well, obviously we are all fans of Dirty Honey. We love what they're doing. They've smashed it in America, and it's great to see them doing their thing. And I feel like they've kind of they've done the new wave of classic rock thing, and then they've kind of done more. And we definitely look up to them and go that's kind of where we want to be at. So I'd definitely say them. Again, I suppose no, they're probably a bit too established.
I've just seen, just because they came up on my social media earlier, Stone Broken about to go out on a mega UK tour. I think they're a band that are massively flying the flag for new wave of classic rock,
big time,
and doing great things, playing some amazing venues. We actually, funny enough, we played with Stone Broken in our old band years and years ago, 8 years ago, when they were just sort of coming out on the scene, and they were lovely guys, lovely people when we played with them, and it's great to see them going from strength to strength. A band that I don't know if you've listened to them. They're called the Hot 1-2. You heard of them?
I have heard of them. I've listened to them.
They're sort of around our sort of singing, and they are banging. I really like them. They're really good.
Cool.
Lovely. Well, Tom, do you have any more questions before we hit the big one?
I believe I am all out, so you are more than welcome to ask away.
Okay. Well, this question stuck with us since episode 2. Our first guest, and this question has survived the test of time. So, Tom, you got your notepad out?
I have. I don't know why I have the notepad anymore, because we're not doing anything with them. We're just doing it for fun now.
Great.
No, I was going to, but it's just I can't be asked.
Yeah, but I've got a better grind set than you. Right. So you are tasked to make a band. First, I'd like you to state if you want to make an individual band or a band as a group.
As a group?
Yeah, all right, why not?
Okay. So here are your base rules. You must have at least the 4 core fundamentals of a band. You need a bassist, a guitarist, a singer, a drummer. Okay. You can have whatever other things you want. You can have a man on trumpet, triangle, no one cares. As many as you want. There's no cap. You can have, and you have to pick anybody, dead or alive, to play these things. They don't necessarily have to play the instrument they're playing. It's just advised. And you can be in the band, but you don't have to. I don't think I've missed anything. So fire away.
Oh, mate.
Are we thinking about genre here? Or are we just going to go in with whoever we think should just be?
Well, you just stick with what you know, innit? I think you've got to, if you're going to have a singer, it's got to be Freddie Mercury, isn't it?
Freddie Mercury on vocals. In terms of just a singer.
Just fucking legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll go with Freddie on vocals.
Cool.
Well, who are you going to have behind the kit?
Oh,
Do it instrument at a time. This is where Liam goes, I actually don't know any bass players.
I mean, the natural thing would be John Bonham. It just would be.
Freddie Mercury and John Bonham, that
is legendary. But I'm actually going to go
Mercury. That's
I'm going to say though, just in terms of obviously the situation has recently changed from alive to dead. I'm going to go with Taylor Hawkins on drums. Yeah.
That guy was an absolute beast. Okay, so Freddie, Taylor,
I would say Peter Palladino, but whether he'd fit in that.
He's a session player.
He's just, every time I listen to him, I'm like, I hear a new bit and I'm just like, mate, he is incredible.
Yeah.
Every time.
Okay, so right, guitar players, I would go with as just if we're going with predominantly classic rock here.
Yeah.
I would definitely say I'd have Joe Perry
Mhm.
from Aerosmith. Oh, who played rhythm guitar? Yeah, Joe Perry and Malcolm Young from AC/DC, because Malcolm Young is the best rhythm guitar player of all time.
Anyway, we can do additions as well. So like,
all right, extra singers. Let's go for backing singers. Right.
Who are we going to demote to backing singer? Elvis. No.
No, who else would I have? Mate, I again, if we're staying in classic rock, I'd have rotating vocals, Steven Tyler and Axl Rose.
Yeah.
That's like
Axl Rose back in the day.
Back in the day, not Axl Rose like, come on, boys.
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
And then
And you got Freddie Mercury can do piano and keyboard.
Yeah,
true.
As well.
Oh mate, no, we got to have a keyboard player. We get fucking Rick Wakeman.
Rick Wakeman, yeah, I like that. Yeah. This is getting bad.
I'm loving this.
I'm just.
It's great.
Who's a banging percussion player?
Who's the guy they use in Volpec, American Knights Square Garden? Yeah, they got percussion guys as well. I can't remember his name.
And then, yeah, should we just have two drummers? Who else should we have?
Yes, we have two drummers.
Steve Jordan.
Yeah.
Steve Jordan to hold it down, hold down the foundation. While Taylor Hawkins just goes fucking mental.
Yeah. All right, we could go forever, but yeah, I think that's probably a pretty sick band. It's more like it's about the same size as the Allman Brothers. That.
Okay, but
the only one I didn't catch from that is the bassist.
Pino Palladino.
Pino Palladino, Pino Palladino.
Yeah, PA.
I'll look that up later. I'll find it later.
He's like a legendary session bass player. Plays for John Mayer. Done stuff in the 70s and 80s. He did like loads of stuff with like Jeff Becerra.
He's your go-to as well.
He is, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to swap Taylor Hawkins for Jeff Becerra, actually.
Oh, shit, man. That is some band.
That is a band, for sure. But, so is this your final listings?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty solid band.
Yeah, if you've got Steve Jordan down as a second drummer, you can fuck him off because Jeff Becerra does it just as good.
Yeah.
Well, there's no more change in that. That's now locked in indefinitely until I figure out something to do with the bands.
Are you gonna like just make a call, get them all back together from the dead? And...
Yeah,
that's the plan. Yeah, I've rung up.
That was the original plan.
Actually, he said he's busy at the moment, but he'll bail me that when he can. I might do AI. I might make AI bands like using that stuff.
They're doing that now with old ABBA, aren't they? So
yeah, exactly. I reckon I could make it work with some time and a few like Squarespace courses, not Skillshare courses.
If you withholding this,
yeah.
It's gonna be like the thing Riley has to the side of him, where it's just a cardboard cutout.
Yeah,
yeah. I'm just marionetting these poor people to sing.
A little more like Team America or anything else.
Yes.
But that's us out for questions. So is there any last minute comments that you'd like to get in?
No,
thank you so much for having us, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure to come and talk to you guys tonight. Really, thank you so much.
It's been an honour to have you on. So
thanks for coming on.
Yeah, the pleasure's all ours.
Anytime. Hopefully you'll have us back some point.
Oh, we'll plan
We've
on
got some
plans,
so hopefully you'll be free for those.
Next time, I expect the detective section. I expect you to look full Basil Brush.
Oh, just wait!
Yes.
It's building per week. We're getting there. The storyline, but yeah, it's going to be great. But thank you so much for coming on. Please go watch our last episode. That was a hoot first episode in the new year. Go watch our other stuff, the playlist, and go stream Karma Effects music as well. That'll be linked in the description and put up here. Please follow us on socials. And I think that's all. Please subscribe and share to all of your best friends. Unless you know me in person, in which forget you saw it. But thank you very much for coming, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.